Dear students, up to now in semiconductors we have completed the calculation of carrier concentration, Hall effect and equation of continuity, and we also seen the position of Fermi level in intrinsic as well as extrinsic semiconductors. Today we are going to see the temperature and concentration dependence of Fermi level in a given semiconductor. Let us try to understand at first both the Fermi level, temperature dependence in intrinsic semiconductors. So let us try to write down the expression for Fermi energy level in case of intrinsic semiconductors. We have already derived the expression for the electron concentration in a conduction band of intrinsic semiconductor, that is represented as N, and which is given by 2 into 2 pi me kT by h square whole power 3 by 2 exponential to the power of EF minus EC by kT. Similarly, we also derived the expression for the whole concentration in the valency band of intrinsic semiconductor, which is given as P, which is P is equal to 2 into 2 pi mh kT by h square whole power 3 by 2 exponential to the power of EV minus EF by kT. Now, in order to write the expression for Fermi energy level in case of intrinsic semiconductor, let us try to apply the basic property of the intrinsic semiconductor, that is number of holes in valency band must be equal to number of electrons in the conduction band. That we already seen when discussing about intrinsic semiconductors. For example, this is the conduction band and this is the valency band, and if you are giving some sufficient energy which is equal to the energy band gap, then what happens is electrons are going to leave valency band and they will be excited to conduction band. Here one electron is present. That means because of excitation process, one hole is created in valency band and similarly one electron is created in conduction band. That means the number of electrons that are present in conduction band must be equal to number of holes in valency band in case of intrinsic semiconductors. Now, if you take this condition, that is N is equal to P, number of electrons in conduction band must be equal to number of holes in valence band. That means N is equal to P, we have to apply this condition. Then what happens is, just substitute the value of N and P and equate them, then try to get the value for EF just by cancelling the common terms on both sides and finally trying to eliminate the terms wherever is possible by applying the log on both sides. Then what we will get is, we will get the expression for EF. EF represents the Fermi energy level, which is given by 3 kT by 4 ln of mh star by me star plus EV plus EC by 2. But most of the practical conditions, what we will do is, we will consider mh is equal to me. That means what? Most of the practical conditions will consider that mass of the electron is equal to mass of the hole. Under this condition, what happens is, this mh and me gets cancelled, we will get 1. So ln of 1 nothing but 0. So that means under this condition the first term becomes 0. Then what we will get is, we will get the value of EF as EV plus EC by 2. That means what? It is actually, under this condition the Fermi energy level is independent of temperature. But if you are practically, if you try to observe from this expression, Fermi level is dependent on temperature, but we consider that mh is equal to me star for practical purposes. Under this condition, what happens is, we will get the value of this particular EF as EC plus EV by 2. That means what? The Fermi energy level is independent of temperature and which is lying exactly in between the forbidden gap. That means this is the forbidden gap. In case of semiconductors, in case of intrinsic semiconductors, the Fermi energy is lying exactly in between the conduction band and valency band. So, and if you are increasing the temperature of the semiconductor, what happens is the position of the Fermi level in intrinsic semiconductor is constant. That means it's not changing. So it is independent of temperature. This is the temperature dependence of Fermi energy level in intrinsic semiconductor. Similarly, let's try to understand the effect of temperature on the position of Fermi energy level in extrinsic semiconductors. Let us first consider the N-type semiconductor. Now we have seen while discussing about N-type semiconductors, so we have valency band and we have conduction band, and we have something called donor energy level, or in other words extra electron energy level, which is printed in these dots, and the Fermi energy level in case of N-type extrinsic semiconductors, which will be very near to the bottom of the conduction band. That's what we have seen. Now if you are increasing the temperature, what happens is the electrons are going to be excited from donor energy level. This is nothing but donor energy level, DE, donor energy level or extra electron energy level. Now these electrons are going to be excited to the conduction band as we increasing the temperature. We are increasing the temperature. If you see, if you are moving towards right side, the temperature is increasing. Now what happens is the electrons are getting into conduction band, and hence whenever we are removing the electron, then what happens is the position of Fermi energy level decreases. That means what do you mean by Fermi energy level? Generally it is the highest occupied level. When you are removing the electrons, then what happens is the level goes down as increasing the temperature. This is what is happening in case of N-type intrinsic semiconductors. So it means initially the Fermi energy level is very near to the conduction band, especially the bottom of the conduction band, and as increasing the temperature, because electrons are getting excited into the conduction band, because of which the position of the Fermi energy level is decreased, and finally it reaches to a position where exactly the midpoint of this particular forbidden energy band gap. That means as increasing the temperature, the Fermi energy level decreases slowly and finally matches with the position of Fermi energy level in intrinsic semiconductor. That means it will be almost at the midpoint of the forbidden energy band gap. This is the temperature behavior or temperature dependence of Fermi energy level in case of N-type semiconductor. On the other hand, now if we take P-type semiconductors, what will be the situation or how the Fermi level is going to be affected while increasing the temperature? Now we have seen in case of P-type semiconductor, we have conduction band, we have valency band, and we have some extra energy level that is known as acceptor energy level or hole energy level. And in case of P-type semiconductor, we have seen that the Fermi energy level is very near to the top of valency band. That means it is very near to valency band. That means what? This particular energy level is going to be affected as increasing the temperature. Let us see how it will be affecting. Now when you are increasing the temperature, what we are doing actually is we are actually increasing we are exciting the electrons from valency band to this particular acceptor level. Then what happens is the highest energy levels are going to be filled so that the Fermi energy level will be pushed up. Finally, as increasing the temperature, the Fermi energy level will be increased, position will be increased, and finally matches with the intrinsic semiconductor, or in other words it is almost will be middle of the energy band gap. That means in case of p-type semiconductors, as increasing the temperature, the position of Fermi level increases to midpoint of the forbidden energy band gap. This is what is happening. That means in case of intrinsic semiconductors, the Fermi energy level is constant with temperature. In case of n-type semiconductors, the Fermi energy level decreases with temperature increasing the temperature. Then finally, in case of p-type semiconductors, the Fermi energy level position increases as increasing the temperature. These are the three observations that we can see in temperature depends of Fermi energy level in case of semiconductors. Now let us try to understand similarly what will happen to this particular Fermi energy level as we increasing the donor concentration or the dopant concentrations. Not donor, it's the dopant concentration. That means what? We have taken an intrinsic semiconductor, we are trying to convert either n-type or p-type. If you want to convert intrinsic semiconductor to n-type, then what we have to do? We have to add fifth group elements. That means if you are increasing the concentration of fifth group element, this is intrinsic semiconductor. This is nothing but intrinsic semiconductor, and the Fermi energy level is exactly in between the conduction band and valence band. Now what we are doing is we are adding fifth group element to this intrinsic semiconductor. Then what happens is, and we are increasing the dopant concentration. That means we are increasing the impurity concentration. Then what will happen is, when we are increasing the dopant concentration means we are actually increasing the number of free electrons, because each fifth group element is going to give one free electron, and hence as we are increasing the concentration, dopant concentration, number of electrons is going to be increased. Then what happens is the Fermi energy level is going to be increased slowly, and finally at particular concentration what happens is it will increase and it will be very near to conduction band. It reaches to the near position of the conduction band. So this is what is happening as we are increasing the dopant concentration, especially the fifth group element in case of n-type semiconductors. On the other hand, now when we are taking a intrinsic semiconductor and adding third group element, then means suppose we are increasing the third group element concentration in intrinsic semiconductor, then what happens is we are actually converting into p-type semiconductor. That means what? By adding each third group element, we are adding one hole. That means hole is nothing but we are actually removing one electron. We can consider like that. That means we are actually when the hole concentration is increased, or in other words, when the electrons are removed, then what happens is the Fermi energy level will be decreased. Finally, it is going to be very near to valency band, which is actually observed in case of p-type semiconductors. That is the reason why in p-type semiconductors the Fermi energy level will be very near to valency band, and in n-type semiconductors the Fermi energy level is very near to conduction band, and intrinsic semiconductor it will be exactly in middle. And this is the variation of position of Fermi energy level in case of intrinsic n-type and p-type semiconductors as we increasing the dopant concentration. So that's what we have learned today. Especially we have learned the concentration, the dopant concentration effect and the temperature effect on the position of Fermi level in intrinsic, extrinsic semiconductors. Thank you.